Alright guys, even though I have already made 4 videos, I decided I was gonna do an introductory tag! So, the first question is, where are you joining us from? And I am joining you from the lovely city of Orlando, Florida. Yes, where Disney and Universal are located. I don't have annual passes to either of them, so I don't actually go that often. Number 2, how old are you? I am 21, but my birthday is March 28th, so I'll be turning 22 this month. Why did you join BookTube? I joined BookTube because I wanted to talk about books in front of a camera, and that's basically it. What is the meaning behind your channel name, if it's something other than your name? Mine isn't. Mine is just my name. Hi guys, I'm R. Number 5 is, what type of books do you read / want to talk about here? And I mainly want to talk about books with queer representation, mainly, because that's what I like to read. And YA in general. So, specifically when those two meet, like YA with queer characters, you got me. I'm gonna read your book, probably. Number 6 is, who are some of your favorite authors? If I had to choose a favorite author, my favorite author would probably be Rick Riordan. That's how you pronounce his last name. I'm not quite sure. I've heard it pronounced in multiple ways, but we're gonna go with that. Just because he's like a middle grade author, but like his books are so good, and like just he tries his best to include as much representation as he can. Like, I don't know. I love him. He's great. I saw him at a book tour. It was great. I got a signed book. It's great. But other authors I like are Maggie C. Fire. That's also how you pronounce her last name. Not sure on that either. And of course, the lovely Madeline Miller, who wrote my favorite book. And that's my top 3. Number 7 is, what is the last book you read? And that would be Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, because Love, Simon is coming out, and I wanted to read the book first. Because, you know, the book is always better than the movie. I'm still really excited for the movie, though. I've heard great things. So, next week, I think it's next week. It comes out next week. Or this week. No. Next, because it's Saturday. So next week, yeah. It comes out next Friday, I believe. The next question is, what are you currently reading? And that is The Dangerous Art of Blending In by Angelo Sermelius. That's how you pronounce his name. No idea. It's a really good book. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And then the next question is, what do you use for bookmarks? Actually, I have one bookmark in particular that I use. It's the Exploding TARDIS. Even though I haven't watched Doctor Who in a while, so I'm not sure why I still use this bookmark. It's just a good bookmark. Like, who cares if it's from a show that I don't watch anymore? It's a really good bookmark. It marks the page so good. Highly recommend. The next question is, show us your current TBR pile, and I don't have one because I read one book and then I'll go out and buy one book and then I'll read it and then I'll go out and buy the next book, or I'll borrow it, you know, that kind of thing. I don't buy like a bunch of books and then have them to read. So I don't have a pile to show you, unfortunately. And then the next one is, what do you, speaking of borrowing, the next question is, which do you prefer, hardcover or paperback, ebooks or physical books, or owning or borrowing books? And I think I'm going to talk about this in the rapid fire book tag that I'm going to do, but I'll go ahead and answer these questions again anyway. I prefer paperback. I like physical books, and I like owning books. But I also borrow books sometimes too. So, next one is, what book or series got you into reading? So this is kind of tricky because I read a lot as a kid, and but I wouldn't consider, I read a lot as a kid, but there was no particular series that got me into reading as a kid. But then I went through a depressive episode. Well, I mean, I have depression. I just when I first developed depression, it was really hard for me to read. So I didn't read for a year and a half. I just stopped completely. Except for maybe fan fiction. I maybe read some fan fiction, but I didn't read books. And the book that changed that, which is the book that I will choose for this question, I guess, because it got me into the reading I'm doing now, is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which you have heard a lot about by now. Yeah, it's my favorite book, and it basically saved me from not reading, because I was oh hey, I love Greek mythology, I love gay shit, sign me the fuck up, read it, and loved it, and was I need to read more books like this. Except I haven't read many books like that. But, it's fine. I actually own, Mary Renault books are, really similar, apparently. I haven't read any of her books. I have 3 sitting on my bookshelf that I just haven't read yet. And I have another on my to-read list. And I will eventually read those, and it'll be like The Song of Achilles. And I did read the Iliad, which is nothing like The Song of Achilles, even though, they're about the same thing. But, yeah, anyway. The next one is, how did you discover BookTube? And honestly, I don't even remember how I discovered BookTube. I think I was looking for Song of Achilles reviews or something, and I was oh wow, this is a thing. People do tags and shit. And so I think it was probably me trying to find Song of Achilles reviews, honestly. So yeah. But I watch much more than that now, obviously. I made this channel, so I've been watching quite a few channels that inspired me to make this. The next one is, what challenges do you think you'll face with your own channel? And that is definitely my rambling, one. I scratch my nose a lot, too. And building an audience is going to be quite hard. So, those are the challenges that I think I'll face. And then the last question is, where else can we find you? And you can find me on Tumblr mainly. That's the only thing I'm going to link to, because that's the only thing I really use. I have a Twitter. I don't use it. Oh, you can find me on Goodreads. I'll link to that. And those are pretty much, that's pretty much it for social media, that have to do with books. So, hope you enjoyed learning about me in this introductory video. If you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. That's something I never ask. Even though everybody asks for, comments and likes and shit. And I never do that. But, yeah. So, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I'll answer them. And, yeah. I hope you enjoyed learning about me. Bye, guys.